Throughout the 35 years of JoJo's, we've seen over 170 unique stand abilities. Most of these stand users were normal humans, but we've also seen dogs, birds, cats, rats, all with their own stands. But what about that time a tree had a stand? And then that other time a tree had a stand? That's right, it happened not once, but twice. But that's not as catchy of a title now, is it? And with a title and thumbnail as good as this one, today I wanted to discuss what the heck was up with these two tree stands, starting with Sugar Mountain is the stand of some random tree in the middle of the Wisconsin wilderness near Lake Michigan. Johnny and Gyro encounter this tree during JoJo's 7th part, Steel Ball Run. Sugar Mountain is a unique stand, presumably created from the Devil's Palm as a guardian to protect both the ears of the corpse and an arm of the corpse. One day, while Gyro and Johnny are camping in the forest, Gyro drops one of his steel balls into a nearby spring, but when fishing to retrieve it, finds the ball nowhere to be found. Seeing a random little girl running away from the spring, Johnny and Gyro assume that she stole the ball and they chase her back to her home, a big old tree. Inside the hollowed out portion of the tree, Gyro confronts the girl, and in response, the girl pulls out a gem and a solid chunk of gold and asks Gyro, "Is this what you dropped into the spring?" Gyro is an idiot and says, "No, actually, I dropped a steel ball, not your incredibly expensive minerals." But somehow Gyro got lucky because apparently she was testing his honesty and as a reward, gives him back his steel ball and the gold and the gemstone all for free. This is the Sugar Mountain's spring. Sugar Mountain is a test of honesty. Anything you drop into the spring nearby the tree, the guardian of the tree, the little girl, will offer you both what you dropped into the water or an upgraded version of whatever you dropped. If you answer truthfully, you're rewarded with both what you actually dropped and the upgraded version, but if you're a greedy little bugger and choose the upgraded gift instead of what you actually dropped into the water, roots sprout from the ground below you and force their way into your body through all of your entries and rip out all of your innards, killing you painfully, brutally, and horrifyingly. Teehee! This ability is based on the Honest Woodcutter, an old folktale in one of Aesop's fables. In the fable, a woodcutter accidentally drops his axe into a river. The god Hermes takes pity on the man and dives into the water to retrieve it, but comes back with a solid gold axe. Hermes asks the woodcutter if this was the axe he dropped in the water, but the woodcutter says no. Hermes goes back down under the water, but this time returns with a silver axe. No! Hermes, impressed by the woodcutter's honesty, rewards him by giving him his original axe and the other two axes for free. Moral of the story? Be an idiot and say no when people offer you free stuff. Gyro picks up on how this tree works pretty quickly and starts abusing it. He drops a newspaper into the water and the girl offers him his newspaper or a fat stack of moolah. Gyro tells the girl he dropped the newspaper and gets to keep both. Still looking for the corpse parts, Gyro tests his luck by cutting off a rabbit's ears and dropping them into the spring. And wouldn't you know it, the girl offers him human ears, the ears of the corpse. After getting a bunch of free loot, Johnny and Gyro leave thinking they're hot shit for gaming the system, but the girl gives them a warning. Everything they've gained from the tree has to be spent by sundown, and if they don't, they'll become a part of the tree in line to become future guardians, thus commencing the evil Mr. Beast challenge arc. I quite like Sugar Mountain. Stands in part 7 are much more abstract in nature than previous parts, and that gives each encounter a much more distinct identity. Something as simple as a tree with a stand feels much grander than a standard stand battle. Many people are of the misconception that the little girl is the stand user and the tree is the stand itself, but that's not the case. The little girl is just another victim of the tree, trapped, forced to play the role of guardian. And believe it or not, that is not the only time a tree had a stand in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Because just one part later, in part 8, Jajolian, Araki gives us a second tree with a stand. Le Feuille is introduced during the Shakedown Road arc as world building by being a landmark for Part 8's Morio. Le Feuille literally translates to the leaves from French, and I hate that I just know that. Shakedown Road is a nickname given by the denizens of Morio because of how much extortion goes on there. The tree in question is a big ginkgo tree that stands tall on Shakedown Road. Although, admittedly, it's a bit unclear whether or not this is all the work of one ginkgo tree or multiple. The ginkgo tree leaves scattered all around Shakedown Road not only look beautiful, but are also the product of a stand. Le Feuille makes anyone or anything that steps on the leaves move instantaneously. If you have multiple leaves close enough together, you can create a path in direct wherever the person or object gets moved. The inhabitants of Shakedown Road all know about the tree, although probably unaware of what a stand even is. They use it to extort innocent people passing through. They arrange the leaves around on the ground, creating their own paths and tricking people into stepping onto them. For example, this shopkeeper has a path set up from the road to an aquarium holding a 300,000 yen Ecuadorian turtle. Or at least, that's how much he says it costs after Josuke unknowingly steps on the leaves, smashes the aquarium, and kills the turtle. It's not just the shopkeepers either. Everyone on Shakedown Road uses the leaves to trick and guilt unfortunate people who don't know any better into paying them ridiculous amounts of money. What's cool about Le Feuille is how the stand came to be in the first place. Over 100 years before Part 8 even started, Johnny Joestar was in Morio. After a stream of unfortunate events, Johnny Joestar fired a tusk shot into the ground. This shot carried the spin energy, and thus, 100 years later, a tree grew from that spot, the spot that Johnny shot, and the tree had grown with a spin-based stand. Don't lie to me, that's sick as f. I guess you could say this is more of a leaf stand than a tree stand, but like, come on. What are the odds Araki would do a tree stand 2 parts in a row? And if Araki adds a tree stand to part 9, I will do 18 consecutive backflips on camera. I wanted to try a more educational video for once. My philosophy in my videos has always been entertainment first, education second, because frankly, there's already a lot of JoJo YouTubers who are known for explaining things. And come on, you expect me to compete with Mr. Hammy Beat? Please let me know in the comments what you think about this style of video. Personally, I think I'm much more suited for entertainment over education, but what do I know? Okay, love y'all, bye!